So apparently, Fox, FS1, a lot of the old talent there, and some of the current talent there are getting sued, which has been going crazy on Twitter. And I just want to talk about this situation because I loved Undisputed. I really did. It was like I watched sports media the most during the length of Undisputed. I was there when Goat Mask Shannon was first there. I was watching live when he pulled out the black and mile, when Shannon Sharp pretty much rose as a star that he is today. And obviously he was a star in the NFL. He had other gigs, right? But I do want to talk about this situation because I spent so much time watching FS1 at this period in my life, and I watched a little bit of ESPN before that. Here and there, but that I was going through 9 to 5. I was, driving around. I was watching this constantly, doing it. So it's something that's important to me. It was a time period in my life, so I just want to talk about this because this is shocking, bro. Here's a video that kind of sums it up. I think it's already got 382 views in one day. This is Anton Daniels. I've never heard of this guy before. I'm sure he does great content because the views are tremendous. So I'm going to react to the full thing. Shout out to the guy. I think I'm going to react to the whole thing, unless it just drowns out at the end. I don't know. We'll see. But Joy Taylor is Fox's biggest bust down. Crazy title. Allegedly slept to the top in a lawsuit against Skip Bayless. And the lawsuit, I believe, is like 40 something pages long. And it name drops a bunch of people. Skip Bayless, Colin Cowherd, Acho, Joy, the hairdresser's name, I forgot exactly because she's not a talent, right? I'm not familiar with this person. But yeah, let's watch this, man.
What's going on? Is Anton from Anton.
And I'm not like some fucking lawyer or anything. This is just a raw take. Just it is what it is, right?
AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing.
Little disclaimer, I guess.
Just as I was about to turn in for the night, because as of right now, it's pretty late. It's almost 11 o'clock at night on the East Coast. But right now I'm on the West Coast because I'm out here for CES and I'm out in Vegas taking care of business, and so
that's cool.
My time zones is a little bit messed up, and so
I also, people that are watching this video, this might not be for you because I do reactions on a lot of topics. Specifically, a lot of my gaming stuff gets more traction. I'm a huge gamer, always have been my whole life, but I've been a sports guy my whole life as well. I played basketball, soccer, football, ran track, ran cross country. Huge into sports, right? I love, there's a bunch of other sports that I love, like freaking tetherball and gaga ball. You probably don't even know what that is. I love tennis. So I've always been into sports. So I'm very plugged in when it comes to like sports culture, the media, athletes, all that kind of stuff.
Go to some of the media events tomorrow, and at the same time do the Millionaire Morning Show. And I'm milling around, and I'm trying to find out what's happening over the weekend so that I can prepare myself for tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And guess what? As soon as I thought that I was in the clear, I get a couple of emails from some sources that said, Anton, you got to come and check out this lawsuit. Now, initially, I'm like, well, you know what? It's another guy that's under duress, and he's being held accountable by some woman that wants to come up financially, and so she's going to sue. And that's what we're looking at here with this lawsuit.
Versus Fox.
This is basically a lawsuit against multiple different entities, including Skip Bayless, by a woman named Nushin Farhadi. All right, and suing Fox Corporation, Fox Sports Holdings, but also has Skip Bayless and Joy Taylor, and also named Charlie Dixon. Let me say that again. Skip
Charlie Dixon. Boy, what a name.
Bayless, who you see right there, Joy Taylor, and which I thought that
an individual. Oh, okay, I get it.
I was going to be having this conversation about Skip Bayless, but we're going to shelve that, and we're going to talk about this on a million.
Oh, my God. Look at the individual complaint. Jeez. Oh, my God.
Morning
HR
show.
is probably
but I just
having
want
a
to kind
field
of give
day
you
with
guys the
them.
highlights before we break it all the way down and get into the nitty gritty.
This is so messy, man. I'm wondering if there's anything else that hasn't like seen the light of day, because the whole situation when like Shannon left, completely messy, bro. And honestly, I watched sports media so much, man, back when Undisputed was out. I was always watching the episodes. I watched Undisputed afterwards. I like Richard Sherman. Legion of Boom was my favorite defense of all time. I fell in love with the Seahawks. But when they fell apart, I'm a Cowboys fan, right? So you're naturally going to probably hate me or love me just because of that fact. A lot of us in the fandom of the Cowboys hate each other as well. So it is what it is, bro. But I feel like after Undisputed, like the glory days when Shannon left, I haven't found like a show that scratches that itch, and I don't watch sports media at all anymore. Like ESPN First Take just feels dry and forced. I can't find that.
Don't focus so much on Skip Bayless tonight. I'm gonna focus on Skip Bayless
I guess
tomorrow.
I don't know.
Tonight, I want to focus on Joy Taylor, and the reason that I want to focus on Joy Taylor is because I knew it. I called it. I had a conversation about it.
Where's he going with this?
I said that this woman, with her...
Wait, how the fuck you know this, bro? How you know this?
Her trash podcast.
Ooh, I didn't even know she had a podcast.
Just like
Everyone's
every
got one,
other
so
woman,
not
I
surprised.
believed personally that she had been sleeping her way to the top, because there's no way in hell that you can tell me that she's been engaged or in all of these relationships and she talks so confidently and she didn't care whether or not people canceled her or anything like that. That type of
I see where he's going with this. He's pretty much saying that she has security.
attitude was a red flag to me that
Because
told me
of,
that usually these type
inappropriate
of women
behavior.
get opportunities based off of their looks and not because of their talent.
To be fair, Joy is I and a lot of y'all might hate me on this. I think she's good at what she does. I do. This situation's a lot different, but there is, the Rachel Nichols situation. She was talented as well, I thought. Man, it's really weird. I don't think Doris Burke was on like a talk show, but I could be wrong. But she's like the OG like woman in the sports industry, right? But I feel like the people that reach the top, there's always some kind of controversy with the women that just knocks them back. And it's kind of ironic that Rachel Nichols came on to FS1 after Shannon left. This is getting sticky. This is getting weird.
Usually these type of women get looks because of their looks and not necessarily because of their talent. I'll give you an example, right? Let's scroll down, because as I was
to be fair, she is brothers with Jason Taylor, who was an NFL player.
Fox Sports and all of that, and again, we're going to go.
Which for the longest time I thought it was Sean Taylor. I don't know how I didn't look into that. The whole time I thought she was like Sean Taylor's sister. Little did I know it was Jason Taylor, and I was like, who is that?
Over this on the Millionaire Morning Show tomorrow.
I know now.
This woman told everything, and I'm not saying that she's 100% correct, and I have to obviously say innocent until proven guilty, but this is a lawsuit, so this is a civil trial. Similarly to how y'all try to throw everybody else under the bus, we might as well go ahead and have this conversation. But if you scroll down a little bit,
is he talking about Diddy?
She goes in to say, she highlights how Skip Bayless back in 2016 and all of that. From 2016 to 2024, he signed big year deals, 4-year, $32 million contract.
Damn.
And then she goes in
My man was getting paid like a role player in the
Joy
NBA.
Taylor. So Joy Taylor is one of the defendants in this lawsuit.
Yeah, they're going at her individually.
She is describing her as for the streets. Ooh. She says,
for the streets.
And I quote, and I'm going to read the exact lawsuit. And this lawsuit was filed on the 3rd, so right into the new year.
Damn, this is fucking hot off the press, bro.
The 3rd of January 2025.
Oh my God.
She coming for the bag. Does she deserve the bag? Probably not. But we'll get there. We don't care about whether or not she deserved the bag or not. She goes into the amount of money that Fox Sports and all of this generated in revenue and all of this stuff. And then she says, defendant Joy Taylor is a media personality and television host for Fox. She co-hosts the show Speak on FS1. At all relevant times, Ms. Taylor is an agent,
Bro, she wasn't just on Speak. She was on Undisputed in the very beginning. I remember that. And then they switched her over. Low key, Jen, if y'all watched Undisputed, the first Jen, I think they had like multiple Jens, which was really weird. But the first Jen that didn't like Skip, something happened, and she, obviously Skip rubs people the wrong way. But she was phenomenal. And then I remember watching college football, and she was on the field, and I was like, oh shit. But yeah, shout out to Jen. She was awesome. But she was also on. Then she went to, I believe, Colin Cowherd's show, The Herd, which she was good there. And then she went to, wasn't it Speak for Yourself? And then it became Speak. I don't know exactly when that transition happened. But the show is good now. I do like Acho's takes. But honestly, like that show. The dynamic between Skip and Shannon was perfect. You had the ultimate hater in Skip Bayless, the famous for hating on LeBron. Honestly, that's how he's extended his career so long. He has played the heel so well. And then obviously you have Shannon, who is one of the most charismatic people on TV, which everyone's got a podcast now. From it seems like from FS1. And to be frank, Shannon's podcast is the only one that really stands out to me. Also, Matt Barnes and what's it called again? All the Smoke. That podcast is fire as well. But that was out before, I believe.
Fox had the authority to make decisions impacting Miss Farhadi's employment, and upon information and belief, Miss Taylor is a resident of the state of California.
Okay.
She goes on to
paying them taxes.
Let me deep dive a little bit.
Big old taxes.
Hired to work at Fox. Blah 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 blah. We don't care about any of that. I want to get to the thick of things. All right.
Well, I mean, to be fair, how did she get hired? Because I think that from listening to the show, she came from like Miami. I think she was like some talk show host or something. I don't know exactly what her level of experience was going into it. Actually, it's kind of weird now to think about it, because like with Shannon and Skip, the main two hosts of the show, the main two guys, like we all know where their backgrounds from. But hers, it's like, where did she come from?
Who was a power player and executive apparently.
How did she get that role?
Over at Fox Sports at the time, was giving Miss Taylor.
Wait, what?
Undisputed as
Mr. Dixon gives Miss Taylor, Joy Taylor, Undisputed as a reward for having. Oh my God! What?
Reward for giving up that box.
Oh my God.
Check it out. In approximately March 2016, she met Miss
Taylor, Hollywood?
an aspiring sports personality that had recently moved from Miami to Los Angeles for the opportunity of airtime at Fox. At the time, Miss Taylor did not have a regular position, but would fill in on a day-to-day basis when talent was sick.
She was there at the beginning, I believe, right?
Miss Time. Miss Taylor told Miss Farhi that she recently wed, but her husband remained in Miami and that she was lonely in Los Angeles.
Bro, what?
She then befriended this woman. In approximately May 2016, Miss Taylor asked Miss Farhadi to meet for a drink in Santa Monica. When she arrived, she found that Miss Taylor was with an older man. Fox Sports executive, vice president of content, Mr. Dixon.
Bro, wow. God, my jaw just popped. Dude, freaking, wouldn't she, like, obviously know he's, like, some high up if she's a fucking hairdresser, I guess maybe she doesn't know the execs.
Power player.
I don't know.
Decision maker.
That seems odd.
It's not just about sales. This is just like Diamond said, using what you got to get what you want.
This is in 2016 as well. She didn't say shit.
Executive Vice President Mr. Dixon is responsible for overseeing all content and production on Fox 1. However, she didn't know Mr. Dixon at the time.
How? Bro, that doesn't even make sense. If he's responsible for overseeing all the content of his fingers must be like, his fingerprints will be on everything, right? Unless he's like the guy that does like pushes papers. But I mean, the title of all content and production, overseeing all that doesn't make sense.
This is Joy Taylor that was introducing him. When
Maybe
Mr. Dixon went to buy
a job yet. I don't know.
Them another round of
no,
spicy
she met her
margaritas,
from
Miss
FS1.
Farhi Ferrari asked who he was with. Miss Taylor responded that he was just a friend. Following that night, when she would meet with Miss Taylor for drinks, Mr. Dixon would either arrive with Miss Taylor or show.
Okay, let's be real. Like, if you're listening to the logic of this, like, interpretate, like, of this story that she's giving, the guy that is your boss, is your boss's boss, is your boss's boss, and you work at FS1, you meet Joy there, and y'all become friends and start getting drinks, and the boss's boss is hanging out and getting drinks with her as well. Like, you're telling me you didn't know who, like, what? You didn't know who he was? Like, isn't there, like, in that, it feels like she kind of is, I don't know. I'm not going to rush
and leave
speculations.
With Miss Joy Taylor. He would always buy a round of drinks and food, and from their body
hitting.
language, she suspected that the pair was sleeping with each other.
Yeah.
And although this concerned her, she knew Miss Taylor was recently married. She kept her opinions to herself.
Bro, that poor husband. I hope they're not married anymore.
In approximately June 2016, while at work, she noticed Mr. Dixon in the elevator. Surprised by the coincidence, she found Miss Taylor and told her excitedly the guy who always buys drinks is in the elevator. Miss Taylor quickly silenced her, explaining who he was, and she became alarmed.
It's a fucking scene from a movie, bro.
And warned Miss Taylor that such a relationship was unsafe. She told her not to worry about it. And they continued to be friends with Miss Taylor, but tried to distance herself as she considered the situation dangerous as well as morally wrong for Miss Taylor and Mr. Dixon, who both of them were married. Then, obviously, fast forward in approximately June 2016, word spread amongst Fox's employees about a new show that was going to be a big deal, as it would star Mr. Bayless and Shannon Sharp.
Yep.
Obviously, we know that was Undisputed.
Yep.
Therefore, it came, and they was looking for a woman with significant TV experience, also the star. And it came as no surprise when Fox announced Miss Taylor, who was a bartender and radio host in Miami with very little TV experience,
bro, what?
would be the moderator of the new show.
Oh my God.
Skip and Shannon Undisputed.
So according to this, she slept her way to the top. I mean, like, do you blame her? Is that ethical? No, obviously not. I'm trying to figure out, like, who's more in the wrong. I feel like it's Mr. Dixon. But I mean, they're both consensual, I'm assuming. And also Miss Ferrari, like, kept their mouth shut about, like, this. You have to go to HR or else you have you have liability, which I'm assuming that's why it took so long for this to come out. Or maybe she doesn't have a job and now she needs money, which is typically like 99% of the time what happens when people sue and they.
Mr. Bayless later disclosed that he didn't
want
Miss Taylor on the show, and he was
good for him. Good for him.
Adamant. Mr. Dixon, who allegedly she was sleeping with, was adamant that Miss Taylor should star. And at first, Mr. Dixon arranged a dinner between Mr. Bayless and Miss Taylor, where she.
To be fair, I feel like Skip would have, because like he was the big draw for that show. It wasn't Shannon. Shannon turned into a star, but Skip was the big draw for that show originally. He was a superstar. He was the LeBron of the team, right? He was, I'm going to Miami. That was Skip pretty much. I'm going to Fox. So he should have the weight to be able to pick who the fuck the fucking the host is. That's ridiculous.
Provocative clothing and acted in a provocative manner.
But
that did not change Mr. Bayless's opinion.
Wow. Okay.
Mr. Dixon asked him to approve of her as a favor to him, and reluctantly, Mr. Bayless agreed to do so as a favor to his friend.
Huh.
Around August 2016, she attended a dinner with Miss Taylor and her husband.
Is that illegal? This part right here where he says reluctantly Mr. Bayless agreed to do so as a favor to his friend. I don't know if that's illegal or not. It seems unethical. But I mean, if Skip was being pressured by his boss I think that falls on Mr. Dixon, who be Dixon around too much.
And Mr. Dixon and his wife, during dinner time, Miss Taylor's husband became suspicious, and Miss Taylor and Mr. Dixon was having a sexual relationship. Soon after the dinner, Miss Taylor's husband found evidence of the inappropriate relationship and divorced Joy Taylor.
Bro, didn't they get married in 2016? You telling me she was married for less than a year? Red flag, bro. Okay, now I get why he would have said something like that. I have no idea about these people's personal lives. I know, Skip is friends with Lil Wayne, and Shannon Sharp had his IG. He really likes what was the name you said? Michelle? Yeah, he really likes Michelle, whoever that is. Maybe it's Joy. Maybe they got nicknames, I don't know.
Crazy. Obviously, we're going to go into Mr. Dixon groping Miss Ferrari after putting her on Undisputed.
Uh-oh.
Everybody was busting down everybody. It's just a rite of passage. I want to skip down a little bit.
This Mr. Dixon guy seems like he might be fucked.
It's just going to be crazy show
Fucked
tomorrow.
himself. Fucking too many people, bro.
I don't want to talk about Skip Bayless. We're going to say that for tomorrow.
Wait, what?
We're going to say that for tomorrow.
What do you do?
Miss Taylor, again, uses her sexuality to get on a show. In approximately February of 2020, Miss Taylor asked...
2020... I feel like she was on the herd before 2020, so this should be like Speak,
for
right?
lunch in Beverly Hills. When she arrived, she found Miss Taylor with a man.
Speak for yourself.
Emmanuel Acho.
Oh.
Mr.
Hook 'em, baby. Hook 'em. Let's go, baby. Let's win that natty, baby. Hook 'em. Hell yeah, baby.
Acho. Miss Ferrari.
Man, I do really like his analysis, though.
Did not
He's a smart
know
guy,
Mr. Acho,
but obviously, not too smart.
but could tell that the two
Never
were
sleep with your coworkers,
romantically
brothers.
involved. A few months
Don't do
after
it.
meeting him at lunch, she noticed him in the hallway while at work. She later asked Miss Taylor if Mr. Acho also worked at Fox. Miss Taylor confirmed and explained she wanted...
But the fact that she's meeting these people beforehand out of work hours and then that just doesn't seem realistic at all. It just doesn't. Maybe, okay, FS1's probably huge. You have your certain, staff for a certain show. Maybe it's segregated in that way. So there's not a lot of crossover. I don't know where Miss Ferrari was working at the time. I don't know. That just seems really odd.
Recommended her on the show. Speak for yourself.
There it is.
She became alarmed and warned Miss Taylor that she would probably not sleep with Mr. She should probably not sleep with Mr. Dixon and Mr. Acho at the same time.
Yeah.
As Mr. Dixon is a very powerful man that may become
Man,
very
something
angry.
smelling like fish, probably.
That's my chick.
That's crazy.
That's my hoe over there.
Bro, why would Acho do that shit? Wouldn't he? I feel like everyone would catch the drift. Like, rumors, like when you work somewhere and people are hooking up, it typically gets out. It just does, bro. And people talk about it. It gets spread. I would assume everybody would eventually know. So like, I'm like 4 years passes. You think Acho would know that, your boss is hitting that already. Why the fuck would you? I don't know. That's ballsy.
Miss Taylor told her not to worry. Don't worry about it, girl. I can let them both bust me down at the same time. She explained that she was also now powerful, and once Mr. Dixon was no longer useful to her, she would follow through on her plan to tell the company that he forced himself on her. She would now not allow herself.
Nah, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit, bro. That shit's fucking evil. Like, I like, up to this point, like, it's consensual, like, it's consensual, everyone's adults, like, is it ethical? No, you shouldn't be doing that with your coworkers. But, I mean, like, let's keep it a buck, right? You got two coworkers, they're both attractive, they're around each other Monday through Friday, you got money, she got money, like, shit's gonna fucking happen, right? Sometimes, so it just naturally does, you don't have that intention, one thing leads to another, y'all are really good friends, whatever it might be. I'm not condoning behavior like this, but I understand why something like this might happen. But now this shit is fucking evil, bro. This is why, bro.
Tell the company that he forced himself on her. She would now not allow.
There are people that actually fucking think this way, and I don't know if this is true or not. This is all speculation. I guess we'll eventually find out. But like, there are people like this out in the world. Which, when I was in high school, I was naive to this. When I would hear like stories like, you know, with the Kobe situation, and I think Derrick Rose went through something like this. You know, I just always assumed the worst because I was like, why would they do that, bro? And, you know, the older you get, you realize that there's just people out there that will twist your words. They will do whatever they can. They will lie through their teeth. It's devastating, man. You can't trust everybody. You just can't. And you don't want to be too... You don't want to overthink yourself, but this is why, like, having street smarts is such a key in life. Just being able to trust your gut on someone's character is just so important.
To be forced out by mixed addiction like other women talent.
That's fucking wild, bro.
In approximately September 2022, Miss Taylor started to work on Speak. Miss Taylor requested her to do her hair.
Damn. Keep her close. Liabilities.
This is so many red flags in this shit.
Yeah.
It's so...
Bro, what? That last part wasn't even a red flag. There's no object that can be big enough to be red. Like, it's just bleeding
so many
evil.
red flags in this. This is why I say I, by default, do not believe all women.
He's cooking.
I, by default, do not believe all women.
This shit's ancient, bro. It's ancient, man. And I love my mama. I love my mama. I love my fiance. I love my sisters. I love my cousins. I love my grandmama. I love so many women in my life, and they are nothing but great to me. They're amazing. They're beautiful. They're kind. They're passionate. And there's a lot of friends that I have that are women as well. Great people, man. Great people. But I mean, this shit's ancient. Adam and Eve. Eve got that motherfucking apple and said, hey, bro, you want a bite of this shit? I know they said not to, but no one's looking. Deceitful, bro.
It's so much in here because she
Bad
was
energy.
already planning to leverage it and say that he did something that he wasn't supposed to do to Mr. Dixon. Okay, so he was wrong with sleeping with her and he was wrong with all of this, but that don't mean that he forced himself on her because she voluntarily was using herself as tribute in order to level up, and it was a mutually beneficial, and it worked out for all parties. But more importantly, if this is true, Joy Taylor is for the streets. She is the biggest whore. If this is true, she, in my opinion, is the biggest whore.
I would say she okay, let's be realistic. The biggest one is probably the one that hasn't been caught because it's just letting everybody run on like a fucking track meet, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's probably one out there that has not been caught, and you know, the motherfucker is open up like a field goal post, right? It's just wide open. To keep everybody hush hush.
2025.
Just a little speculation.
And
I'm sure there's someone else that's worse.
Of why she had such a bad attitude because she don't feel like nothing can happen to her because she for the streets.
I never thought about it like that. That's interesting. I just feel like she plays into that sassy nature, right? I know a lot of girls that like play into like a sassy, rude nature by default. I don't know. That is interesting to think about. Like, if you have insurances that you're going to be working your way up the ladder no matter what, and then she is in a position where she is surrounded by NFL athletes that were dominant in their sports in Speak. And she is when you like compare their careers, she's an ugly duckling. Like straight up, she does not belong in that room at all. But she does give an interesting perspective, being sisters to an NFL player. It's just so weird.
Y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. You're hearing it first. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Millionaire Morning Show is going to be lit tomorrow.
This is wild.
Millionaire Morning.
Shout out to this guy, bro. That was a great video breaking it down. I'm curious about what Skip Bayless did, though. Anton Daniels. Interesting. Yeah, go give him a sub if you've never heard of him. Shout out to the guy. Go like his video at least. Tell him the Ether sent you. Shout out to everybody watching this video, man. Make sure you hit that sub button. Wow. A lot of men got exposed in 2024. 2025. Welcome to the party, ladies. Oh boy. Oh man. Jennifer Lopez might be on that list. The whole Diddy situation is freaking wild. Now let's get Michaela Andrews out of here. Yeah, that situation is wild too. It's so weird, the whole Rachel Nichols situation. So much drama, man. Hold on, I'm gonna go full screen real quick. I want to find what Skip did. Let me just type it in. Skip Bayless accusations, accused. Oh, usually YouTube's search engine doesn't put the S word in, but it went in right away. What is this? Offers hairstyle. What in the world? All right, I'm going to go full screen because I don't want to say these titles. This one's interesting because it's got Undisputed film.
A hairstylist who worked for Fox claims former Fox Sports host Skip Bayless made repeated unwanted advances towards her.
The fact they got a video of him nodding, bro, and agreeing, bro, in B-roll is crazy. Wait, did I hear that right? I was so focused on the clip, on the video. Goodness gracious, hold on.
Former Fox Sports host Skip Bayless made repeated unwanted advances towards her. She also accuses Bayless of...
So he groped her like Mr. Dixon?
Offering her more than $1 million for sex. The plaintiff...
Your best friend, bro. Your best friend is Lil Wayne, bro. You can't get some knowledge from this man? What the fuck? Your wife, like, he has a beautiful wife. Like, what the fuck? It's just, are fucking people just, like, destroyed by ego? Oh my god. Like, you think these people are acting a lot of the times on these talk shows with the fucking amount of ego they have, but this is ridiculous. Over $1 million for some poo-tang? Gee, this is gotta be cap. I can't see Skip doing that. The guy pisses me the fuck off. LeBron obviously is the GOAT. And if you agree, comment down below. And if you don't, you just correct me if you want. If you think you're gonna correct me in the comment section below. But dude, that's ridiculous.
Attorneys are seeking unspecified damages from Bayless, Fox Sports, and its...
There's a high possibility that a lot of this is fucking cap. Like, how is she gonna be able to prove that in court? Like, you know what I mean? Like, does she have a paper trail of him offering? Like, what?
Parent company Fox Corporation.
Oh,
the complaint
God.
also
The
claims
memes are going
Fox
to go crazy on Twitter.
A hostile work environment that allowed...
Now, I can believe that. I can believe that 100%. With the whole fallout with Shannon, there's a lot of people talking. A lot of people backed up Skip, and they told him, they were saying he has great character. He's hard to work with because he's kind of an asshole, but he's never, rubbed people shoulders the wrong way on purpose. Now this is all coming from people that are maybe saving face. I don't know.
Senior management and on-air personalities to abuse workers without fear of punishment. Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes is here. Khalif, what evidence or documentation does she have in this?
What is this, Queen City News?
Listening to this complaint, it seems like there is a mounting amount of evidence. She talked about a number of anonymous witnesses. So that's the first thing that I'd say. These folks...
Oh, who could it be? There's obviously going to be a bunch of, like, probably other makeup artists and hairdressers or whatever it might be. There's that stereotype of the hairdressers in the makeup room. That could be easily it. I don't think any of the talent would be anonymous people, because I feel like the talent would stick together, to be frank, because she's going after the talent, right? This is so weird. Like, is this realistic? Like, the amount of crap we've had come out, like with the Diddy situation, there's just so many stories I've reacted to that are just batshit crazy. It's just, like, hard to believe. Man, this isn't the craziest thing we've heard. I mean, this year it is, but we've had some wild stories already.
So that she mentions in the complaint are people that saw firsthand the accounts that they have listed in here. Also in the complaint, text messages. So you have the documentation. You have, as they say, the receipts to be able to prove the statements that you're making, not just against Skip Bayless, but executives. And that's what you need to be able to prove this case. Because if I'm going to file a lawsuit, not just against Skip, but all these other folks, I have to be able to show that the parent company, management, upper management, executives knew what was happening and failed to do anything. A number of the complaints.
She the best way she's gonna have receipts if she has HR receipts. That is gonna be the best way possible. Which you think would be likely in the situation because it's not spanning just like a year. It's spanning from 2006, like who knows where in 2016, but all the way up to probably like 2022, 2023.
A number of the text messages in the complaint list communications with those individuals. Some other personalities on the air she also talked to, and they kind of told her to brush it to a side. So there are a number of levels to this complaint, but specifically, I believe if you can point to text messages, you have witnesses that saw it, that strengthens this case, I mean, 10 times.
So how is Fox Sports responding to the lawsuit beyond their initial statement? And are there any signs of...
They're probably responding to the situation like Mr. Beast responded to his situation, which was pretty much turn around and act like they're not there.
Maybe an internal investigation.
They're doing the normal PR statement, which you want someone to do in a situation that we've looked at the complaint, these type of allegations, we are against this 100%. They did not mention if there was an internal investigation, but you would assume if you're making these type of complaints against your lead person.
If you don't have an internal, that is interesting because like, I know there's been a bunch of internal investigations that I've just seen, like for instance, OTK, when like that one guy had that thing happen. If you don't know what OTK is, it's like a gaming group, to say the least. And they had their internal investigation by a third party. And then also Mr. Beast had an internal investigation by a third party. So you're pretty much paying someone to come in and be unbiased and pretty much do an investigation. Now, the difference between having that and like law, like the actual like court system, having an investigation into it, is you can kind of pick and choose from, like, my knowledge, right, with a third party, you can kind of pick and choose what they look at, right? And so it is a lot more wiggle room, I would assume. Now, when it comes to a court, they pretty much get whatever they want. So even if they do have a third party investigate it, there's already, and if these accusations are true, you'd assume there's already corruption very, very high up, where they're going to try to burn a lot of the bullshit. But I mean, we live in a digital age. To be able to burn all that evidence over like a span of fucking, 6 years, 7 years, that's going to be very difficult to do.
In your top executives, that the immediate first thing is we're going to have an internal investigation, because you need the mitigation. You want to ensure that if there is some type of truth to these allegations, that you've put in place the things to prevent this from going forward, because what you don't want to have is more individuals coming forward saying the very thing has happened to them.
And that's
the Deshaun Watson situation, right? But whatever happened to that, bro? Did he just buy them all out? Because I know he's still like, he's hurt now, but he's been like, I don't know, he's been like traveling around with his girlfriend and just getting memed on constantly. Dude, like, straight up stole the bag from the Browns and played like
kind of
shit
exactly
this
where I
last
was thinking,
couple years.
because obviously sometimes when you see one of these lawsuits, someone else jumps on because they said, hey, this happened to me and now I've got help, basically.
That happens a lot. And there's situations like the Deshaun Watson situation where I think that might have been the case. But then you have a situation like the Diddy situation, and it's kind of has a reverse effect in my mind. It's like, holy fuck, there's so many people. But that easily could be the same way. But there's just so many red flags of the year with Diddy.
This is a class action suit, and to your point, most of the time, a victim of sexual assault, a victim of sexual harassment or sexual abuse will normally say, I didn't come forward because I felt like I was all alone. So it does, in these situations, have the tendency to empower a victim. And so this is a class action. They're looking for folks that were employed during this time, that may have been in this situation. And so the floodgates can open. During the discovery process, you will likely see more, not just plaintiffs, but also more defendants. They mentioned in their complaint that there are a number of other individuals that they believe knew that this was happening and failed to act. So you can see a number of names added, not just more defendants, but also more plaintiffs.
Also with this situation, it's a civil matter, right? So it doesn't, people aren't going to jail. They're going after money, right? I have a problem with that as well. Because like if these claims are true, these should be criminal. Like the groping, the forcing the person on top of it. Also the false accusation or the planning to falsely accuse someone. That is fucking wild. That's evil as fuck. There needs to be like a law where if you falsely accuse somebody and you're proven wrong, that you go to fucking jail. Because we've had way too many situations where stuff like this happens nowadays. It's ridiculous how someone can like falsely accuse somebody and just go away scot-free. It's absurd. Wow, this video only has, what the hell? It has 1,000 views. Shout out to Queen City News. The commentary was pretty good. He was joking for sure. That would be the best praise she ever got. This got to be cap. Yeah, that's my feeling as well. I feel like there's probably a lot of stuff that's factual in this lawsuit that's happened, but I think there's also a lot of stuff that is fake. That's just like my raw reaction right now to the whole situation, and that's just the knowledge I have from watching these guys, right, and seeing their interactions and stuff like that on TV, which is not a great basis to go off of, but I do have a lot of hours watching their content back in the day. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. Also, like this video, I'm gonna like it. 10th like, wow, let's go. Killing it. If you like what they do, go give them a sub, go give them a like. But my name is Trey Swish. This video is more sports related. It is, a drama video, real life drama. And so, I don't know. I don't really talk about sports often on here. But when I have situations like this, I want to put my 2 cents into it because it's a very interesting situation that I did not expect to pop off in 2025 already. And that's where we're at right here. And you can tell I'm a sports guy. I got the, all the Texas banners back there. Notice I don't have a Cowboys one. Hopefully we'll get a goddamn ring, one ring in my lifetime. Hopefully I'm not, on my deathbed when that happens. Hopefully it's in the near future. But either the way things are going, I doubt it. But yeah, comment down below your thoughts on the situation. Do you think this is complete cap? Do you think this is actually par for the course, what you expected? Like that one guy said, this is wild, bro. Wild. It is wild times. But yeah, make sure you hit that sub button. Let's get to 1K. And I'll cover more stuff like sports related. It is very interesting. It's unfortunate, and I just really wish the whole Shannon Sharp thing leaving Undisputed would have never happened, because I really don't have a sports show to watch anymore. I just feel like most of them are corny. I love sports though, and I do a lot of video game coverage and technology coverage and spooky stuff and a lot of stuff, right? I need to do a video on NCAA 25, because that's one of the greatest games made in a long time when it comes to sports. But yeah, hit that sub button, comment down below, like the video. It's easy as a little click. And my name's Trey Swish. I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.